This is our final update for 2023, and it has been another big week in the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator with some third-party developers releasing their roadmap for 2024, as well as some really big third-party developer announcements, and also some big release news this week. So let's jump straight into the video. Kicking off this week's previews and announcements, PMDG have been in the news lately with recent updates, and again this week the team updated us with some new screenshots of the Boeing 777 development. Currently their 777 is in beta testing, and so far during the first phase of the testing the team have found over 200 items that they need to work through. PMDG mentioned the fidelity of the aircraft is at a higher level than the current 737 fleet with almost the same performance. PMDG also mentioned that the fly-by-wire system of the aircraft is going well and behaving accurately. The team plans to share more news of the project in the coming days and weeks, but for now we just have some new shiny screenshots. Just Flight had another busy year when it comes to the flight sim releases. The team finished off this year with an update on all the in-development projects that we may see next year. Just Flight mentioned in their updates that they've spent more time updating existing fleet of the products for Microsoft Flight Simulator this year than originally expected, which basically slowed down some of the in-house development on their current projects, but they feel that the time that was spent on those was definitely worthwhile the investment. In 2024, we are expecting to see a big lineup from the team, including partners, Black Square with the Duke and the Turbine Duke that is nearly completed, and the Bluebird simulations are busy with their 757, 200 and 300 development. Moving on to Just Flight's in-house development, the Just Flight Airbus A300B4, which was announced just before FS Expo this year. Since then, the team have been working on the mammoth task of building out the textures for the flight deck and the plane exterior. The majority of the fuselage modeling is now done with some improvements to go. Just Flight mentions that the system coding progress has been excellent and that the electrical, the air bleed, the air conditioning and the pressurization, the APU, the fuel systems are all complete. The team is now setting their sights on the hydraulic systems. Since the last update from the team, the Tornado has had significant improvement with the modeling and textures. The Tornado now has a remodeled cockpit sections. There's been some enhancements when it comes to textures up to 4 and 8Ks, and next the team will be transferring the code from the P3D version to the Microsoft Flight Simulator version and making improvements to the accuracy of the code, as well as adding new features and basically bringing the aircraft up to the Microsoft Flight Simulator and the Just Flight standards. There will be 24 paint schemes that have been confirmed to make the release. There is no detail on when we will see the Tornado, but obviously we will keep following the progress through 2024. The Tomahawk was the next aircraft that was mentioned for the update. Just Flight mentions the development of the Tomahawk had been slow and stalled in the past year, but it's now at the team's center of attention and will be the next GA aircraft the team will release. The team is now updating the modeling and the textures to bring the project up to the Just Flight standard, and the coding in the systems is well on the way. Just Flight will include their new EFB, which has implemented a number of improvements over their features when it comes to the previous versions. There's also a GPS option that will be made available for the Tomahawk, but will be an option that can be toggled on and off. Also, Just Flight mentioned the RJ Professional, which will be their next airliner that the team will release. There wasn't too much to go off on this one, but many of the systems are complete, including the air conditioning, the fuel, hydraulics, and work continues on the AD system. Of course, we don't have a release date just yet, but being that it's going to be their next airline release, things are going well. The last aircraft update from the team was the Fokker F70 and 100. Currently focusing on this project is mostly on the exterior and the cabin modeling. Just Flight have sourced references and images of a real in-service aircraft, and they will rework the entire cockpit with a brand new high-resolution textures all around. Just Flight mentions the project will feature an unprecedented level of detail. A lot of work on this one is still to be done, and likely it will be one of the later releases for 2024 from the team. But obviously it looks like it's going to be a big year ahead in 2024 for Just Flight again. We are really passionate about flight sim on the channel, and I love bringing you content each week about the simulator and third-party developer updates. Please consider subscribing, as we are on the road to 100,000 subscribers, and we would love to have you on board before we meet that massive milestone. Thank you very much for all your support in 2023, and we look forward to a big 2024. AnyBuilds have finished off the year by delivering some information about their roadmap on some of their releases when it comes to 2024. The first one that was mentioned is the team is planning on releasing Abu Dhabi International Airport, which will include the latest configuration of the airport, including Terminal A. The package will also include a number of points of interest that are close to the airport. The next airport release after that one will be Leeds Bradford. Leeds is in early stages of development, and we expect to see a couple of other airports from the UK as well that will be released sometime in 2024. In some other big news, the team announced they have been working on a secret project, which is the AnyBuilds Airbus A350. The launch of this one is expected to release sometime in 2024, and it will include the 900 and the 1000 variant, as well as both winglet type models for the 900. AnyBuilds finished off their roadmap by mentioning they plan to release an Airbus A380 as well. The A380 was previously announced during the early days of AnyBuilds, and the team plan to rebuild that model. This will be built alongside the Airbus A350, and there's no ETA when we'll see the A380 in the sim, but from the looks of it, the race is now on for the A380s when it comes to Microsoft Flight Simulator. But big news from AnyBuilds for 2024. Thank you to Simbit World Pilots Life Chapter 2 for sponsoring this video. A Pilot's Life Chapter 2 simulates the career of a commercial airline pilot by generating your schedules, tracking your scores for your flights, and rewarding weekly according to your contract type, and much more. Pilot's Life provides a reason to fly in the sim from A to B while improving your skills as an airliner pilot, and depending on how good your scores are, you can progress throughout your airliner career to higher tier airliners and purchase more aircraft license. With over 575 airliners and over 280,000 real up-to-date routes, each flight and contract will have you experience the virtual airliner career globally, living a pilot's life. A pilot's life will work across all types of flight sim platforms, including a Microsoft Flight Simulator, X-Plane, P3D, and even FSX. Links in the description are where you can pick up your copy of Pilot's Life, and we thank them for sponsoring this video. Another name in third-party developers when it comes to Microsoft Flight Simulator or flight simulation in general is Blackbird Simulations, originally Milvers. Since the release of the 2020 sim, the team has only released the Corsair and the 310. The team has many projects on the go, and this week they updated many of them. Some of the projects included the T6A trainer, which Blackbird mentions it is expected to release soon. At the moment, the T6 offers a detailed construction and features Blackbird's advanced external float profile. Custom flight profiles and failures will override the default 2020 sim systems, and it also will have a GPS which is fully functional and integrates with Navigraph. When it comes to the T6, you will have the ability to fly from the front or the back seat, and also include a damage simulation which will have effects like fire if you are doing a crash landing. The next aircraft that was updated by Blackbird, which was the S71 Blackbird. The Blackbird is very much in active development and is still awaiting for additional external elements such as stairs, fuel trucks, and hoses. The detailed modeling textures were shown and highlighted during this update. Currently, the development progress is advanced, and they're focusing on at the moment is delivering an authentic flight experience. Pretty good chances we will see the SR71 released sometime in 2024, but there was no commitments, but it was made clear that there is many development days ahead of this project. The Boeing 737-200 continues to make some progress, and it was mentioned that the model is nearly completed, and the code and the development and the sound recordings are ongoing. The focus at the moment is for the analog systems, which there's no plan to develop a FMS when it comes to the 200. Again, no ETA and when we'll see this one in the sim. The next project update from the team was the Huey UH-1H, which was shown in the update from Blackbird. This is a very anticipated release for helicopter simmers. The Huey was shown flying in sim, and the release is getting closer. Again, no release date for this one. Again, with all the other releases, the Huey is expected to be very detailed, including realistic flight model and detailed modeling of the Huey itself. Blackbird have many other projects that they've announced on active development, and from the looks of things, the team is not worried about release time, but is more focused on the details when it comes to the development of these aircraft and projects. Hopefully we'll see some of what was mentioned with their update release in 2024. As usual, we will be following all the ongoing developments from the team. Moving over to this week's release news, Flight Sim Aware have released their Learjet 35A as an early access this week. The early access doesn't include a manual or tutorial videos of the release. The Flight Sim Aware mentions that the Learjet has been tested for the last 6 weeks by 2 Learjet 35 pilots and 1 former 35 instructor. The final version of the Learjet will be released with more liveries and have detailed textures along with some extra system features. The Learjet 35 is a multi-year business jet as well as a military transport aircraft manufactured by Learjet. The 35 cabin was arranged to fit about 6 to 8 passengers and first flew in 1973 and were produced all the way up to 1994 with over 700 of these built. Flight Sim Aware currently doesn't have any features list that was on their website for the Learjet 35, but that being said, there has been a bunch of content already created, so you can get a fair bit of idea of what sort of detail we're looking at when it comes to the Learjet 35A. You can pick up your copy of Flight Sim Aware's Learjet 35A directly from their store. I'll leave a link in the description below. In our next release for the week, this one is Live to Air releases the Zivco Edge 540 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. The Zivco Edge 540 is a highly aerobatic aircraft that is capable of a 420 degree per second roll rate and can climb up to 3,700 feet per minute. The 540 has flown to victory on the International Unlimited Aerobatic Service several times since the mid-1990s, and the 540 was the most common aircraft used with the Red Bull Air Racing World Series. Features include a high-quality 3D model, 3 variants of the aircraft, 8 liveries for each variant, working circuit breakers, pop strike animation, canopy eject animations, 2 cockpit configurations, smoke with multiplayer support. You can pick up your copy of the Zivco Edge 540 from Live to Air from most Flight Sim stores, including any builds, and will be available from the InSim marketplace sometime soon. I'll leave links in the description below. Friends have released a freeware helicopter, which is the Mozzie MK3. This project was developed to help raise funds for one of the developers' fathers who've had a recent surgery. The Mozzie MK3 is free to download, however you can donate through the direct download link found on the Mozzie's MK3 website. The Mozzie MK3 is a single-seat, single-engine, open-cockpit, ultralight helicopter. Despite its small size and lightweight, the Mozzie is still fully functional with a conventional tail rototype. You can pick up your copy of the Friends Mozzie MK3 directly from the GotFriends store. As always, links in the description below. The last big airliner release for the year, which is AnyBuilds, they've released their Airbus A300-600R. The team knows the A300 very well as it's been their flagship release on other simulators. Now the team has released it for Microsoft Flight Simulator. The A300 was Airbus's first production aircraft and the world's first twin-engine double-aisle wide-body airliner. It was manufactured from 1971 to 2007, with over 500 plus of these have been built. The A300-600 variant first flew in 1983. Airbus basically took what they learnt when it comes to the Airbus 310, including avionics and new tech, and implemented that into the original A300 design, and it was named the A300-600R. It builds a version of the A300-600R comes with new optimized PBR textures up to 8K, a reworked 3D cockpit. Many Easter eggs are being included with the release, including breakaway indicators and opening the APU cowling, visible tyre wear, and realistic door arming. It also includes a detailed FMS that has SIDS and STARS capability, as well as a custom VNAV and LNAV. Custom systems include hydraulics, electrical, pressurization, and fuel operation, and also a realistic RNAV. Custom maintenance functions including engine oil levels, APU oil levels, hydraulic fluid levels, and wear and tear brake wear. A feature-rich EFB has been included, also preset cargo loads with visual models as well. And a basic AnyBuilds ground handling set, which features freighter stairs, chocks, and a ground power unit. You can pick up your copy of the AnyBuilds Airbus A300-600R directly from the AnyBuilds store. Links in the description below. Moving on to this week's Sim Update news, and this being the last week before the year is out, the Microsoft team will not have any updates this week, including there will be no InSim marketplace releases. We're expecting those to kick off and resume in the first week of the new year. It's been a big year when it comes to Microsoft Flight Simulator, with many great additions to third-party releases, sim updates, world updates, and of course the announcement of a new simulator in 2024. We've had as much fun bringing you all the big news this year, and very very much looking forward to doing the same when it comes to Flight Simulator 2024 and all the other releases. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you'd like to stay up to date with all the updates, and we wish you all a very happy and safe new year, and thank you very much for the support in 2023, and we'll see you in 2024.